Moving on with the news, crude oil has now been pouring into the Gulf of Mexico for 72 days. Bad weather has halted cleanup efforts off the coast of the U.S. state of Louisiana. This comes as officials say the spill's impact on tourism in the region could last for years, and no permanent solution is in sight except the installation of 2 relief wells due to be completed by August. Now, an estimated 80 to 150 million gallons of crude have poured into the Gulf since the deepwater+horizon rig blew up on April 22nd. We're joined from New York on the phone by Danny Schechter. He's with the mediachannel.org. Welcome to the program, sir. America has just announced after more than 70 days that it's ready to accept assistance from 12 foreign countries. Just what does this show?
Well, what it shows is that they haven't figured out how to solve this problem. They hadn't prepared for the eventuality of any type of crisis like this. Their preparations for a response were improvised as they went along. They experimented with all kinds of different approaches, and most of them didn't work. They've managed to actually siphon off some of the oil, but their faith in the relief wells is now being tested, and BP is talking to the government about alternatives. I don't think they're as confident or cocky about it. Meanwhile, in the news today, apparently red tape is, including BP's stance, is preventing other companies who have volunteered oil collection boats are being rebuffed by BP and the Coast Guard, according to a French company. It's reported in New Orleans. Even as local officials complain that not enough boats or vessels have been deployed to collect the oil in water before it hits land. This is a big issue about whether to reach out to people in other countries. You'll remember Iran offered to send experts to help, and of course their offer was rebuffed completely, as if they had no experience and no expertise to add. But now they're reaching out to the French, to the Norwegians, and to others to try to find people who have some expertise, because clearly BP doesn't.
Well, now, just how do you assess Barack Obama's response to what he himself has called the worst environmental disaster America has ever faced?
Well, I think he's terrified about all of this. Clearly, he wants to believe that this can be solved. He's been assured that it will be solved. He has a lot of people working on this, task forces and investigating committees and all sorts of experts, and they still haven't managed to solve the problem. This is a major catastrophe. This is not a simple little oil spill. Even the words oil spill is deceptive when you're talking about as many gallons of oil as is involved here. Now, BP's own employees are suing the company. The station owners of BP gas stations are pressing for help because of a customer's boycott. The CEO says he has no plans to resign. It's costing $100 million every day. The total bill has hit $2.65 billion. I mean, now we're almost getting to serious money here. So BP, is looking bad. The government here looks bad, of course, but it doesn't look like people have a lot of bright ideas. There are a lot of people with various suggestions, some of which are being actually looked into, because what is supposed to be working isn't working. We're talking about oil under 5,000 feet of water, 13,000 feet under the seabed. They're leaking 5,000 gallons per day or more. And nobody's really even telling us the truth about how much oil has, escaped into the Gulf. So this is, a major crisis here, and it's going to affect the rest of the world too, because once those storms start hitting the Gulf of Mexico, and that oil is swept up by the storms, it can be, turned into rain and dumped all over American cities or other countries. Already Cuba is seeking help from Venezuela. This thing is spreading, not narrowing in its impact. And I think we're going to find that this could also spread into the Atlantic as well and menace Europe. So, BP is trying to do what it can do, apparently, but it's not good enough.
All right. Many thanks there to Danny Schechter with the mediachannel.org from New York. Shares around the world